Hey everyone, you've done great so far, so let's finish up this lesson. Okay, so these last two examples are a little bit tougher, right, than the previous examples. So you might have some questions on this and you're going to let me know. Okay, so it wants us to write an equation in standard form. Standard form is the equation that looks like this. AX plus BY is equal to C. A, B, and C are numbers. Okay, you've actually seen standard form equations. So like this right here, that is in standard form. Okay, same thing over here. This equation right over here is in standard form. So you've seen standard form equations. We still probably want to start in y equals mx plus b and then rewrite it at the very end. Okay, so let's see what else this problem is telling us. We want to write an equation that is parallel to this right here. So what do we know about parallel lines? We know that parallel lines have the same slope. So my equation, my answer, or my equation, is going to start off y equals -1/5 x plus b. Why? Because parallel lines have the same slope as each other. Then it gives me a point. It says I have 10 and -3. -10, is an x value, and -3 is a y value. And that's really significant for me because in my equation so far, I have a y and an x value, and I'm going to substitute so I have x is -10, right, -10, and I have y is -3 from the point that I was given, from this point right over here. I'm going to substitute those values into my equation. So y is -3. My slope is -1/5 times x, which is -10, plus b. So b should be the only thing that I'm solving for. -1/5 times -10 is the same as almost said negative, is the same as +10/5. And guess what? 10 divided by 5 is what? 2. To solve for b, I now need to move that that 2 over. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to -2 on both sides. -3 minus 2 is -5. So I'm going to move over here. So my answer so far is y equals -1/5 x minus 5. Now, I need to get this answer to look like that, which means I need to move x over. Okay, so I need to move this whole x term over. Since it is minus here, the way I'm going to move it over is by plussing. I'm going to add it to both sides. I'm going to take a look right over here, and I see that the x term has to come first. So this is going to be 1/5 x. Y is positive. You see how y is kind of by itself? That means it's positive. So this right here is my final answer in standard form. If this part over here confused you, don't worry about it too much. If you can understand how to get to B, that is what's really important for right now. We're going to look at another example that kind of looks similar. Okay, we want to find an equation. We also want this to be in standard form, so this needs to be in AX plus BY equals C form. We want this perpendicular to this equation here. So that means that a perpendicular slope has to be opposite. So since this is positive, my slope is going to be negative, and the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3, because that's what perpendicular lines do. Okay, so my equation starts off y equals -4/3 x plus b. You were given a point. You were given 9, 2. 9 is an x coordinate. 2 is a y coordinate. So that means that you know that x is equal to 9 when y is equal to to positive 2, my bad, and I'm going to substitute those values into this equation right over here, wherever I see a y and wherever I see an x. So y is 2, negative 4/3, x is 9, plus b. Negative 4/3 times 9, okay, this is negative 36, because you multiply the fractions across, over 3 plus b, and guess what? Negative 36 over 3 is the same as negative 12. To solve for b, I'm going to do the opposite of negative 12, which is add 12, positive 12. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. So it looks like b is equal to 14. So your equation is y equals negative 4/3 x plus 14. Remember that I want to get it into ax plus by form, so I need to move the x term over. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to move 4/3 x over to this side by addition. So my final answer is 4/3 x plus y, right? Because y is positive, there's nothing in front, equals, and then 14 is positive, so I don't need to write that plus 14. I can just leave it like that. And this would be my final answer. All right, you made it. You survived this lesson. Please let me know if you have any questions. You now are going to have some U-Try problems. And remember, for the U-Try problems, you need to show all of your work in order to get credit. Thanks, everyone.